So if you have a seasonal business, what is the best way to get access to capital to operate your business? And I'm going to go over six key things that you can do to better present yourself to financial institutions so that you can qualify for fin financing lines of credit. And then one big one at the end, that this is the key thing that you should do every time. So I know it can be very challenging to demonstrate your ability to repay back a business loan, especially if you have a seasonal business. And number one thing to do is to provide detailed financial statements, because typically when you have a historical performance to show your business performance over the years, you can highlight how you manage your cash flow during both peak and off-peak seasons for your business. And one thing that you can also do is provide cash flow projections and create a detailed cash flow projections that account for those seasonal fluctuations. So if you can show, because it helps the bank to understand how you manage your cash flow throughout the whole year, and not just through the peak season. And number two is to do your best to build cash reserves. So a lot of financial advisors will say, hey, you want to have a savings anywhere from 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So just in case something happens, because if you're able to demonstrate, because a lot of times the bank wants to see that you don't need the money when you have it. So demonstrate that you have built up cash reserve during those peak seasons to cover expenses during slower periods, and then have that emergency fund to handle those unexpected uh, expenses or downturns in your business. And then number three is diversify your revenue streams. So, for example, you may want to offer off-season products and services. So, for example, let's just say you are a landscape company. Well, a lot of landscape companies are big and boom during the summer months, but during the winter months, maybe not so much. Well, maybe you can do snow removal if that's available for your part of the world, or maybe you can do holiday lighting, during the holiday seasons, or just what about just looking at different multiple revenue centers for your business? So sometimes I call it profit centers, and that balance throughout the year that maybe you can kind of layer. I know for our business, different times of year, different times of financing is big for businesses. So number four is to manage your expenses to the best that you can. So by doing cost control, you can show that you have the plan to control costs during the slow periods, such as scaling back on capacity or investments. So meaning like maybe during the peak season, you might be investing in equipment, but during the not so peak, not so much. Or just debt management, so you can like highlight any strategies that you have for managing existing debt. So for example, like paying down principal during the peak seasons. And then number five is to use seasonal loans or lines of credit. So by having a revolving credit that allows for interest only payments during like the off peak seasons, and then you make those principal repayments during the peak seasons. And then some financial institution banks will offer incentives by early repayment or phase repayment plans. And then number six is showcase your business plan. So a lot of times your business has a really a competitive advantage. So by be providing a detailed business plan that shows your competitive analysis by demonstrating your ability to compete effectively in your market can be a way to show that you can repay as a seasonal business. Or what about just different operational efficiencies that you business may have? Maybe you can highlight your operational efficiency and how you manage your seasonal fluctuations in your business. Maybe you're really good at it, and just having the ability just to be able to show it. Well, I would say the number one thing, the most important thing is to, and I alluded it before, is to get funding when you don't need it. So like when that income statement and so forth and your bank statements show flush with cash and cash flow, that's the time that you want to get the line of credit and or the funding for your business instead of waiting until the non-peak season, because it'll just be a lot easier at that time. Well, if definitely join our Keys for Business Masterclass, where we show business owners actually how to get access to capital without taking out a business loan, giving up ownership in your business, or uh, putting putting up assets like your personal residence. Like that'll be a definitely great opportunity for you and your business.